evening, everyone. I want to thank you for joining me on this evening. I want to thank our host, Higher Ground Christian Center, as well as Pastor and First Lady Lahoma Anderson. Thank you for having me on today. Your pastor, your leader, your community leaders decided that the holiday season, although great for a lot of people, this is the time of the year from about November to about the new year where the suicide rate and the depression rate increases greatly. And because your leaders are so in tune with mental wellness, they decided that for this segment that we would talk about navigating the holidays, loss and grief. And so with that being said, I want to say again, thank you for joining me on this evening. And I want to wish you a merry mental health and a happy mental wellness new year to each of you watching on today. So the holiday season from early November again through January 1st is often seen as a time of joy. It's seen as a time of connection, and it's seen as a time of celebration, right? We have all of the lights, all of the tinsel, but for those that are grieving, it can feel like an uphill battle. The loss of a loved one can make the holiday time seem like a time of profound loss and isolation. So today we're going to talk about, and we're going to hold space, right? Because a lot of times that's what people need. They need you and I to just hold space for the grief that they are experiencing. Together we will explore ways to navigate this season with compassion, empathy, and grace. Not just for others, but also for yourself. So let's start out with the complexities of grief during the holidays. Now, let's be real. The holiday season comes with hustle, it comes with the bustle, it comes with family gatherings, it comes with social expectations that everyone should feel, what? Merry and bright. But that's not everybody's testimony. It truly is not. But for those that are grieving, those moments often highlight the very fact that that loved one is no longer with them, and that absence of that loved one can feel and sound so loud, right? That although they are smiling on the outside, the inside is feeling lost, is feeling isolated, is feeling incomplete. And so we want to have those conversations on today to make us all aware, just because they're in our family gatherings, just because they're at our church parties, does not mean that they feel a part at that moment. So we want to just come across, and we want to give you some tips to recognize maybe some mental wellness challenges our family members may be experiencing, our church members may be experiencing, our spouses may be experiencing during the holiday season. So with that, the loss of a loved one, or what I like to call the holiday first. It's that first holiday, that first Thanksgiving without that loved one, that first Christmas, that first New Year celebration without that loved one. It can cause a deep ache in your soul. It can bring tears from nowhere. You're fine one minute, and the next minute the tears are streaming down your face. That pain doesn't come in waves. It doesn't. It doesn't. It can come sometimes in like a crashing tidal storm, right? You are fine, you're laughing, maybe you're at church, and then all of a sudden it hits you. And it is in those moments that people become numb, they become withdrawn, they become sad. But I will need you to be aware that the smile may still be on the outside of their face. And this sadness, this profound loss that they are feeling can sometimes send their entire body into convulsions, right? So they are shaking so profoundly that sometimes we see it on the outside, but they don't even see it themselves. And that is what grief sometimes can feel like for those that have experienced a a loved one before the holiday season. Let me tell you about grief. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's deeply personal. I like to think about grief as a fingerprint. Everybody's different. And no two people have the same fingerprint, and that's the way grief is. Nobody experiences it the same. So, in these quiet moments that we sometimes have, or people sometimes have with grief, sometimes it's that quiet moment that hits the hardest, right? It's after the benediction at church. It's after the Christmas party. Sometimes it's driving home. It is that quiet moment. It's that quiet moment on that afternoon where the world seems to have quieted down, where it feels like nothing is moving in the moment, that you are reminded of that loved one. And it is in these moments that can take your breath away. They're unpredictable, but they're also, this is what I want to tell you, they're also an opportunity to honor your feelings, to let yourself feel them. Two things can coexist at the same time. I can be merry and bright during this holiday season and also grieve, right? I can be joyful and also grieve. Two things can coexist at the same time. So if you're mourning the loss of a close loved one or a close friend, those memories increase during holiday gatherings, during family gatherings where that person was always there. Those feelings increase and they can become unbearable. Truly, they can become unbearable. And while you may not be feeling it right now while you are listening to this, you might feel like it's always going to be this way. I came to encourage you that it gets better. It doesn't get easier, but it gets better, right? Grief, you're always going to grieve that individual, but it does get better. It does get better. So let me encourage you. And so I want to give you just some practical tips on navigating loss during the holidays. Here are some what I call compassionate strategies, right? And I paired these compassionate strategies with real-time examples. Might not be your examples, but go with me with this, right? So they're compassionate strategies paired with some real life strategies or examples that might go on. So let's talk about, here's a tough one, giving yourself permission to feel, right? Because we feel like sometimes, especially in the church, right? I shouldn't feel like this. I should be stronger. I shouldn't be crying. I shouldn't. Give yourself permission to feel. Your pastor never told you not to cry. Your pastor never told you not to feel the loss. Nobody ever told you that. But it is those grief moments that we feel like, well, I should be able to handle this. You lost somebody that you spent 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years with. You're expected to cry, and we're going to get into that. You're expected to feel the loss. We're going to get into that just a little bit later, but give yourself permission to feel. So here's an example. You're decorating the tree, right? And you have that joy. You're like, yes, yes. But then all of a sudden you get to the point where, or the part of that tree where you're used to that person maybe putting the star or whatever it is on the top of the tree. And now you're at that crossroad with, what do I do? And you begin to think of all the times that they put that star or whatever ornament on top of that tree, and now you've got the tears flowing down, and you have to decide, what am I going to do in this moment? I was just feeling merry and bright, and now I'm here. What do I do? Well, the first thing you do is give yourself permission to feel that loss, because it is a loss. You're used to something happening, and now it no longer happens in that way. So give yourself permission to feel that. One of the strategies in that too could be, what you could do is take that ornament, take that star, and just look at it and just say, I miss you. Say that out loud. I miss you. You can say, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for giving me thank you for giving me the memories that you have given me. All of those strategies you can use. And here's the third option. the star to the side. Just do it a different day. Give yourself permission to just sit in the moment. It's okay. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. Give yourself permission to feel. Number 2, what I was talking about, anticipate vulnerability. Anticipate that during this holiday season, throughout this holiday season, you are going to have moments. It's expected behavior. It's expected that you're going to cry out of nowhere. It's expected you're going to be angry. It's expected that you're going to want to not get out of bed. All of those things are expected. Go back to number 1, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. It's expected. It is expected. Right? So maybe you're cooking a holiday meal, or you are running to the store, whatever it is, out of nowhere, you just get this emotion and feeling. And you say, I don't know where this came from. It could have been a smell. You could be walking in the store and then there's a certain song comes on, or a song comes to your mind, or you go to church and then they sing the song that the person that you lost now is singing. All of those things, right? It's expected. It's expected for you to withdraw sometimes. Not to the point where we no longer see you, but to be withdrawn within yourself for a moment. It's expected. What do you do in those moments? Stop and breathe. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. If you're in a store or even at church, just step outside for a moment. Step outside the sanctuary for a moment. Whatever it is you need to do to comfort you, but also to honor the feelings and the love. One of the things I say is grief is the price we pay for love. So if you never want to grieve, I suggest you stop loving right now, because grief is the price that we pay for loving someone. Number 3, communicate your needs. We can't read your mind. We know you're going through, but we sometimes need you to talk to us. Communicate to your family. So if your family's doing this big, grandiose holiday celebration and you just not feeling it, you're just not, right? Talk to them express your feelings. Like, I'm feeling overwhelmed without Granny. I'm feeling overwhelmed without this person. Can we scale back a little bit? Or I'm feeling overwhelmed, so I'll come for a little bit, but I'm going to go back home, right? It's expressing your capacity, and it's expressing what you need in the moment, right? Maybe just asking, can we just have our immediate family and not everybody else? Because it can be overwhelming. The holidays by themselves are overwhelming, right? Just the hustle and bustle and trying to find the perfect gift, and you couple that with a loss that happened this year, it can truly be overwhelming. So the other thing, another tip is that move your body, because again, it's expected for you days that you don't even want to get out of bed. That's going to be expected. However, you're going to get up, you're going to feel heavy, you're going to feel sadness, but instead of lying in the bed all the time, get up. Walk around your house. Go to the gym. Really. And we don't think about these things, but the more we move, the more we breathe in and exhale out, the better we feel. Does it take away the grief? No. But what it does, it calms down our central nervous system a little bit so that we can then operate a little bit better than if we just kept this heavy feeling. And it also brings back that sense of peace that we can sometimes lose when we get up and we feel this heavy spirit, this heaviness on us, the grief that's on us, and we just don't want to get out of bed. We just don't, right? And so we want to make sure that we are moving. I didn't say keep busy. Those are two different things. We're actually in their memory, hang a stocking in their honor, bake their favorite dessert, right? And as you're doing it though, it is really important to verbalize, to do it out loud. Things like, thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for, it is important to verbalize as you are honoring them also verbally, right? not just with an activity that you're doing, but also verbally. Because that's a small way to just keep them alive and keep that memory alive that you have for them, right? So you're having a hard day and you can't shake the loneliness. What do you do? What do? You pick up the phone and you call that trusted friend, you call your pastor, you call your sister, you call that person, and you say to them, I don't need advice today. I don't need you to fix anything today. I just need to cry. I just want to cry. That's all I want to do. I just want to cry. That's what I need to do. I just need you to listen, right? You can say to them, I just need you to listen. I just need to scream without judgment. But you have to verbalize that so that they know, because most people that know that you've lost a loved one, they want to fix it. They want to help you fix it. They want you to be happy. And so they will do everything in their power to do just that. But sometimes that's not what you want, and that's not even what you need. You just need to cry. You just need them to be in your presence for support. But you don't want it fixed. You don't want advice. You don't want scriptures. You just want them to sit. You want to be able to sit and just be in the moment. Just be able to feel that loss in a way that's non-judgmental. And in a way that you feel supported just by them being in your presence or on the other end of the phone. But please verbalize, I don't want you to fix this right now. I don't want advice right now. I just need to cry. I just need to scream. I just need you to listen to me. I just need you to hear me. And so again, right, making sure that that's where we are. So a couple things I wanted to share before I go to our closing. When I talk to you about breathing, this is one thing that I want you to do. Come on, do it with me right now. I want you to sit comfortably, sit relaxed, straighten those shoulders. Don't be slouching. Straighten those shoulders. Take a deep breath in through your nose and count to the count of 3, right? So I can't count and breathe at the same time. So, right, we're breathing in. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Then we're going to exhale 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it again. We're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do that in any moment, right? That helps your central nervous system to calm down, right? To calm down. Because what happens is when we are feeling the loss and our body may be shaking, or we are crying uncontrollably, and we start to hyperventilate, it is the breathing that helps our central nervous system to calm down. So again, breathing in 3, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So doing that a couple of times in any moment. You can do that anywhere. You can do that during praise and worship. Nobody will know what you're doing, but it does work. The second thing, positive affirmations. Positive affirmations. Right? I am allowed to feel what I feel. I'm worthy of support and love. I honor my loved one by taking care of myself. I am allowed to feel what I feel. You have to say that to yourself. Give yourself permission, because everybody around you is really giving you permission, but you feel like you got to be strong for everybody else. But in reality, everybody else is like, when you going to cry? When you going to win? But we are the ones that feel like we have to have this facade. But give yourself permission to feel what you are feeling. You are worthy of the love and the support that people are trying to give you. You are really good at helping everyone else, but poor at receiving that same love and help that people want to give to you. And then finally, I honor my loved one, whomever it is. I honor my granny by taking care of myself, because in reality, your granny would really want you to take care of yourself. And so again, right, I am allowed to feel like I'm feeling. I give myself permission to feel this way. I'm worthy of support and love that people are trying to give me, and I'm honoring my loved one by taking care of myself. Now, what do these affirmations do? These affirmations speak life into you, because although grief is a cycle, right, and part of grief, the normal part of grief is depression, but if that grief is not maintained in a healthy way, it can lead clinical depression. And so again, what does it do? It speaks life into you. So you got 2 strategies. Breathe, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we have positive affirmations. I am loud. I'm giving myself permission to feel what I feel. The people that are supporting and love me, I need this. And then finally, I am taking care of myself and honoring my loved one by taking care of myself. Finally, grace for yourself and others. Grief can make you feel like you are losing yourself. It can, right? But hear me when I say this. You are still here. You are still here. Give yourself permission. You are still here. You are still whole. Even in your brokenness, you are. So give yourself grace to feel what you're feeling. You give everybody else grace. Everybody grace. I want you to bring that same energy to you. To you. Give yourself that grace. Give yourself that permission. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. You got a church family. You got a family. You got people in the community that want to help you in your grief journey. Right? So finally, if you or someone you know experiences or is experiencing a mental wellness challenge during the holiday season, please, please, please hear me. Go to your nearest ER room. Go to your nearest emergency room. Seriously. Seriously. If they are experiencing a mental wellness challenge, right? They're hallucinating. They are having intrusive thoughts of suicidal ideation. Please, it doesn't matter if it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Day, please go to your nearest emergency room. Don't hesitate to reach out to your pastor, a trusted friend, if you just need someone to talk to. I'm not talking about if you're experiencing a mental wellness challenge or a mental health provider. Covenant Care Counseling Center is a really good one, just so you know. But again, I have to stress it because we think it's the holiday, and I don't want to mess up this holiday, this family gathering. Please, 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 please seek help. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. This season, let's commit to a legacy of mental wellness. Let's pass down mental wellness. Not just for this holiday, but for every day afterwards. And I want to say this to you. You are seen, you are heard, you are valued. You are seen, you are heard, and you are valued. So I want to say, from me, in Covenant Care Counseling Center, Merry Mental Health and Happy Mental Wellness New Year. Have an amazing night and a great holiday season.